This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming to you with an op-ed from the burningplatform.com. And to say we live in interesting economic times is an understatement by far. I mean, we live in some of the craziest financial times that we ever could imagine. And when I read articles like this, signs, signs, everywhere signs, it really puts things in perspectives and just gives you an aspect of, well, not even using the word aspect. It just gives you a better understanding and it puts things in perspective of just where we are and how crazy the times are. So I'm going to dive in. I'll put a link inside the description. It has a lot of ads in it, and I can't fault them for trying to make money on this, but just bear me with the ads and let's go right in. Fools, as it has long been said, are indeed separated soon or eventually from their money. So at last are those who, responding to a general mood of optimism, are captured by a sense of their own financial acumen. Thus has been for centuries. Thus the long future also be. John Kenneth Galbraith, A Short History of Financial Euphoria. And that's what the time we definitely living in that. Trouble ahead. The signs of an epic bubble of historic proportions are everywhere. The stock market is in a bubble, with valuations exceeding 2001. Margin debt is at all-time high. The bond market is a bubble, with the Fed artificially suppressing rates and pumping trillions of QE into Wall Street. Housing experiencing another bubble, with prices now far exceeding the 2005 peak. Bitcoin and the rest of cryptocurrencies are a bubble being driven by the excess liquidity sloshing around the system. A joke, cryptocurrency like Dogecoin soars into the stratosphere because money has no meaning anymore. I like that. It shows Dogecoin here. Corporate, government, and personal debt are all-time highs and heading even higher. Clueless millennial adults using their stimmy checks to trade on Robinhood. Now the shysters have come up with a ridiculous concept called non-fungible tokens, NFT, which has created a further frenzy of greed and fleecing. We are busy selling worthless electronic concepts to each other at a higher and higher prices. The world has truly gone mad. Again, you may disagree with that, and I definitely understand, but when he puts things in perspective like this, it's at least worth to hear a different side of things, because the narrative that's being presented now is that nothing is a limit. Nothing's in the bubble. Just take advantage of this and everything's going to work itself out. And it's hard not to see that for the short term. And I like to read articles like this because it puts it back into perspective that, come on, guys, this is a bit much. The herd will surely be separated from their money when this everything bubble bursts. The concept of risk has been bastardized and ignored for now. Greed will surely turn to fear and no one sees it coming. The experts will continue to declare by now a miss out on the riches. I see these bubbles will burst, but I have no idea when. It could be next week or they grow for another few years. I don't pretend to know, but I will not participate in the madness. Becoming debt-free and more anti-fragile is my sole focus as these bubbles grow. I may not agree with all of that, but he's got a concept and point here. Even Charles Mackay, epic tome regarding mass delusion and madness of nation falls to capture what is happening today. In reading the history of nations, we find that like individuals, they have their whims and their peculiarities. This seizes excitement and recklessness when they care not what they do. We find that the whole community suddenly fix their minds upon one object and go mad in its pursuit. That millions of people become simultaneously impressed with one delusion and run after it, till their attention is caught by some new folly, more captivating than the first. I have to agree with that. Our nation is just not fixated upon one object, but every object can be bought or sold for profit. Average Americans have concluded it is a sucker's game to work hard, build wealth, and through saving, delay gratification, live beneath your means, and achieve happiness through non-material means. I can understand why they feel this way. As the Federal Reserve, Wall Street bankers, and corporate America fleece them through inflation, stagnant wages, and stealing of their wealth. When these simultaneous bubbles burst once again, for the fourth time since 2000, the citizenry will be crushed. What happens at the point is anyone's guess. Revolution will not be out of the question. I have two personal anecdotes which have convinced me that bubbles are all encompassing and reaching their zenith. I bought a condo in Wildwood back in 2004 with a friend near the top of the housing market. The plan had been to flip it in a couple years for a nice profit. The best laid plans often go awry. We bought it for $325,000. We got plenty of use from it, and we were able to rent it out every summer. but it was a financial drain every year. Interesting. Here's a picture of it. We put up for sale in 2015, asking $275,000. Not a drop of interest. We kept it for sale for 3 years and 0 offers. We lowered the price to $250,000 and eventually got an offer for $240,000 in January 2018. 14 years later, we had sold it for a loss of $85,000. So much for real estate always appreciating. Fast forward to 2021, and the unit above ours just sold for $383,000. In just over 3 years, the value of these condos in the eyes of current buyers rose by 60% after sitting at $240,000 for over a decade. Nothing changed other than the perception of value. It is the next stop $500,000 or $250,000. I have no idea. Over the Christmas holiday, I put together a to-do list designed to make my life more anti-fragile. Things I put off for years now need a sense of urgency. Tops on the list was turning TBP into an LLC to try the burning platform and try to shield my personal assets from the woke cancel culture crowd when they eventually tried to destroy my website and my life. Also included on the list was looking into getting a standalone backup generator for my home for when things go sideways. I have left my retirement funds at the Wharton when I left in 2019. I finally transferred them into my IRA account where I could be in complete control of my investment choices. The one item on the list I considered low priority and did not set in motion was selling some baseball cards I had for almost 50 years. I collected cards from the age of 8 to 12 back in the early 1970s. I collected them because I love baseball, the Phillies, and liked to trade them and pitch them in the schoolyard. I had no thoughts about them being worth something many years into the future. A couple of decades ago, when baseball cards were hot, I put the most valuable ones in plastic sleeves, put them in a plastic bag, and didn't think about it for some years. He shows pictures of kids when they were doing this. For the last year, since this financial madness might offer an opportunity to sell a few pieces of cardboard for prices that will never materialize again. I have hundreds of cards, mostly from 1975. Included in the set are 3 Robin Yount rookie cards and 2 George Brett rookie cards. There's a company called PSA that charges you to grade cards. This then set the selling price of the cards. I have no idea what constitutes a near perfect card with a 10 grade from a near mint card with a grade of 7, but the price difference is vast, as you can see here from their website. He shows a picture of the website here. A Robin Young grade 10 card is worth $55,000, and George Brett grade 10 card is worth $97,500. I find this utterly ridiculous, but it's certainly worth exploring for that kind of money. Even to get a couple hundred for a grade 7 card would be fine. I don't see any imperfections in my cards, but who am I to judge? Okay. Back in December when I went to the site, it seemed like a pain in the ass to go through the grading process, and I was confused by their pricing scheme. Life got busy, so I forgot about it until this week. I decided I was going to send the cards in and see what they concluded. I went to PA's site and found this message. Since my last update, the momentum behind the hobby has only accelerated. In fact, our Collectors Universe President CEO Gio recently shared the reality of the surge of submissions to PSA. I'll try to further illustrate what has happened. The sheer volume of orders that PSA received in early May has fundamentally changed our ability to service the hobby. The reality is that we recently received more cards in 3 days than we did during the previous 3 months. Even after the surge, submissions continue at never before seen levels. Given our growing backlog, it would be disingenuous for us not to continue to accept submissions for the cards that we'll be unable to process in the foreseeable future. It is an unpleasant conclusion, especially after the March 1st price increase, but it's necessary to properly serve the customers who have already submitted to PSA. Effectively, immediately, PSA is temporarily suspending our value, regular, and express service levels. This will allow us to fully unbox and receive the recent surge of orders and focus on our most impacted service lines. We will take a tiered approach to reducing these service levels. Our goal is to bring all suspended service levels back by July 1st, 2021. There's now a baseball card bubble frenzy on par with stocks, bonds, real estate, crypto art, used cars, lumber, NFTs, and just about anything not tied down. With my investing luck, the baseball card market will surely collapse before July 1st. So anyone willing to take a chance can contact me. I'll sell you all 3 Robin Yount accounts for $55,000 and 2 George Bretts for $97,500. Sometimes the stupidity of the masses exceeds my lowest expectations. Wow. In my view, the signs are everywhere. Getting rich has engulfed the entire nation in a madness never seen before in human history. Effortless. Enrichment is a delusion, and all delusion ends in tears. An entire nation was convinced by those controlling the narrative the annual flu was a pandemic by giving it a new name. marking the hell out of it using a faulty tester. Wow, he's really going in. Artificially inflate cases and understand they were dealing with complaint obedient sheep. They can make you believe it, then they can make you believe anything. The recurrent and sadly erroneous beliefs that effortless enrichment is entitlement associated with what is taught to be exceptional financial perspicacity and wisdom is not something that yields to legislative remedy. John Kenneth Gabriel, A Short History of Financial Euphoria. Signs, everywhere, signs. The corrupt establishment will do anything to suppress sites like this, burning fat from revealing the truth. The corporate media does this by demonetizing sites like mine, by backlogging the site from advertising revenue. If you get value from the site, please keep it running with a donation. Again, it's an op-ed piece, but I can't say that some of the things he's saying is really put things in perspective because it's just out of control right now. If this video has been any value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments, hit the like button, think for yourself, just be aware. Until my next video, I'm out.